It's the Dungeon Boys. Welcome to no one, because there's no way anybody got here that fast. I would really like... There we go, hold up. God, I swear. There's a way for me to control the brightness of my light, but it won't. Oh, goo.
I cannot control my brightness.
He ain't very bright. It's okay.
Uh-oh. Why are you gonna do this? Why are you gonna do this?
What it do?
What it do, Ghost Man?
No, just my Elgato control center thing. I want that to go away too. Bye. Let's try this again.
Any sense you
Oh, never mind. The icon disappeared from my taskbar. That's fine. I don't need to change it. I'll just be a bright boy tonight. I'll just be a boy of brightness. But hello, Dungeon Boys. How do you do?
Pretty good.
Doing a little soggy.
Yeah, little soggy is an understatement.
Right.
We haven't even had a hard rain, and I still keep getting flood warnings.
Yeah, it's just
from all the nasty mist falling out of the sky.
Constant nasty duty mist. Honestly, this whole weekend was as if we were living in Barovia.
Right.
In this state.
Oh, that makes it seem much suckier.
Maybe we
tomorrow they're not calling for like anything, but Thursday 2 inches.
2 inches.
God,
boys, I don't know if I can take 2 inches.
I am returning.
Welcome back, Zenas. Welcome back. I don't know if anybody's watching the stream, but if you do look at it, I have put a picture of Strahd, so you can picture who is murdering you up there, and I'll post one.
Well, allegedly murdering.
Well, yeah, trying to murder you at least. Sorry, I shouldn't be presumptive.
I don't remember who I sent it to, but I sent a picture of Strahd to somebody, and they said, "Oh, Strahd looking kind of cute." Like, all right, you do you.
He is kind of cute, honestly. He's a masculine, very handsome vampire boy. Alpha Odyssey, I have school in a few minutes. Just popping in to say hi. Thank you, Alpha Odyssey. I appreciate that very much, my friend.
School, the bane of all existence.
Absolutely. Glad you could stop in to say hi. I need to set up my timer to explain why I don't respond a whole lot to chat, because
well, you do that.
You know how I do. But yes, if you're here, just know that we are on the final, more than likely. Yes, honestly, we're on the final episode. I don't think there's any way. Whatever happens tonight, I don't see there being any way that we make any more episodes of this.
Oh, there's always a way.
I mean, if you guys decided to like be meta jerks and be like, well, we're gonna run away and like go back and level up or something.
Okay, listen, this is my strategy. I'm holding Strahd off until dawn, because that was the plan going in here. If we don't come out by dawn, the chicken rolls in to save us all.
Right. Well, it's daylight. Remember, you slept all night. You guys got there in the middle of the night, and so yeah, it's daylight. So there should be a chicken
so
wandering
chicken
around.
Just left us high and dry.
You didn't unlock the cage. The chicken's still in the cage.
Well, he just didn't have any ambition. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He could have got out of there ninja style or something.
Truly.
Something.
I asked you about the cage too. I tried to give you an out, but you maintained Reginald's foolishness.
Look, a chicken's actually gonna bust in there and save us all.
Hey, all I'm trying to say, Josh, is that you tied my hands. I could have done it, but you left him in the cage.
I tied my hands. You've caged my chicken.
You've caged my chicken. The DM can only do so much. I can only bend the reality of this world so much, and opening a cage to let out a chicken is something I cannot do.
God, that sounds like a Rolfism right there. You have caged my chicken.
You have caged my chicken, Ed boys.
It's Mark.
Oh, it's Mark.
He's back.
You deserve it, so I'm going to give you the meme.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark. All right. I gave you the meme. Mark, we're just saying tonight is the last episode of Dungeon Boys, so we need to get started so it can be. You guys ready?
Well, it's not the last night of Dungeon Boys. It's the last night
Yeah.
of El Strado.
Yes. El Distrablo. That was a stretch. Okay.
I thought you were going for like El Dorado.
Yeah, that would be better. El Distrado.
I was going for Castrado.
Mark said, I was asleep in bed. I'd forgotten about this somehow. Well, wake the heck up! It's time to either kill a vampire or be killed by a vampire. When I came up there, when I came up to do the podcast, Lizzie was downstairs on the couch, and I said, Lizzie, I'm off to go either kill my brothers and friends as a vampire or be killed by my brothers and friends as a vampire. Either way, I intend to have a good time. And she still told me she loved me as I left.
That's well, you found the right kind of woman, Keith.
I guess so. No, I think the conversation was I opened a Valentine's Day card she had gotten me yesterday that she had forgotten about, and it said so many nice things, and then I said that nerdy stuff to her, and then on the way up the stairs I was like, does the card still apply after I said all those things? And she was like, yeah, I guess. So. All right, let's hit it. I'm going to start with the recording. We're going to recap, and then we're going to get into this epic battle, okay?
Keith, before we do the epic battling and recapping, I have a question about the Sun Sword.
Tell me what your question is.
Does it glow when it is sheathed?
Ooh, good one.
Or is it like a lightsaber and like...
It's as soon as you... Oh, no, wait, that's the thigh bone.
Well, it's a Sun Sword, so I think you have to activate it.
Isn't it just a handle by itself?
Yeah, it's a unique blade. Shoot.
Yeah, this item appears to be a longsword hilt. While grasping the hilt, you can use a bonus action to cause a blade of pure radiance to spring into existence or make the blade disappear.
It is a lightsaber.
Bonus action?
Yeah, a bonus action you can turn on your lightsaber.
But then it does stay on until you use a bonus action to turn it off.
Right.
That sounds a little free action-y to me. I can't imagine it's more than a button.
There's magic involved. It's not a button. There's magic. The sword is a person. The sword is a personage.
How much whimsy applies to this button push?
It is alive. It is a thing. I told you that it has its own emotions. It has feelings.
Well, I'm about to make it feel real bad about itself. All right, that's all.
Now you get out of that hilt.
All right.
How we sound? Because we're like we got new chairs and everything. We're like a little bit off from the microphone how we normally are.
I think everybody sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Let's start the podcast and let it rip. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dungeon Boys. These are the Dungeon Boys, and we are playing Curse of Strahd in what is likely our last evening in the tome of the Curse of Strahd. My name is Keith. I am your DM.
I am Josh, playing the orc fighter here at the end of Strahd.
And my name is Bryce, playing Jericho Muldrinker, the Shifter Ranger.
My name is Zenos. I am playing Errol Durman, the Tabaxi Rogue Cleric, who is also a bird.
Yes. Also a were-raven. So guys, last week there was a lot of rolling around, there was a lot of running around, there's a lot of teleporting, there was a lot of searching, but in the end, it seemed as though Strahd, the Devil Strahd von Zarovich, the vampire lord of the plane of existence you now inhabit of Barovia. You've been here for several days, quite possibly a couple weeks. You have been embroiled in his plot to try to take the beautiful Irina Kolyana for himself. It seems based on the conversations you have had with him in the last moments, it seems as though you have thwarted those efforts in some way. It seems as though Strahd might believe that you have taken Irina somewhere beyond where he can get to her. Which has made him very angry. and is one reason why he has beckoned you here to this final chapel chamber where it was foretold that you would, early in the campaign, where it was foretold that you would meet him for a confrontation. And boy, did you meet him for a confrontation, because you spoke with him. I actually remembered to edit the podcast. All the little technical difficulties. People who listened to the podcast and weren't here for the stream did not hear the at least one time we had to redo a thing, so that was nice. But you arrive. I very rarely remember to edit things out of the podcast, so. But you arrived in the chapel. Sorry, what?
This was one of those times.
This was luckily one of those times. You arrive in the chapel to see Strahd looking at the chapel there, and he turns around and he speaks to you. It is the early morning. Since you got a full rest, you locked yourselves in the tomb last night and received a full rest. Whether Strahd allowed that or whether you pulled one over on him to gain some rest for yourselves remains to be seen. Who knows? But you were able to rest, and now you stand before Strahd. And the first thing that Strahd did, as you attacked him several times, several crossbow bolts were fired at the Devil Strahd, and it seemed as though the first two, when they hit, he immediately healed from those crossbow bolts. But the third one, as soon as the crossbow bolt entered into his flesh, he did begin to heal immediately, but somewhere else in the castle, you could hear a loud crashing noise as if something was destroyed or knocked over with the last damage you dealt to him. And this either angered him or surprised him. I believe he said something as though maybe he was too zealous, or maybe he was a little too confident or something. And he cast a fireball directly at the party. Jericho had hidden himself in the alcove that you see on the screen. But Reginald and Dermot took a direct hit, and you will notice if you're watching on stream, but I will tell you if you are not on the stream, you will notice that the armor, which has helped to protect the party, no longer exists. It was melted down to its very minerals by the fireball. Its last duty, its last act, protecting Dermot from the full blast of a fireball. Reginald took a full blast, Dermot took half, and we now return to what... Go ahead.
Sorry, no, very briefly before we begin, I've been kind of thinking about it off and on, and I just imagine that, like, Strahd was just sitting in the chapel this whole time. Like, he was just like, all right, they're going to go into the dining room, they're going to come out, they're going to be like, oh, big spooky hallway, all right, here we go. But then no, and he's just sitting there like, all right, guys, come on.
Just come for on. 10 hours.
Yeah, 10 hours later, he's like, oh, finally.
Yeah. Are they asleep?
Who knows? But we enter back into the final confrontation with the Devil Strahd von Zarovich, who has just cast a fireball. And let's say as he melted your armor, he says, I have melted your companion from the powerful wizard Kazan. Now, both the wizard and his companion, the armor, lie dead in my castle.
Did you call him a wizard?
Yes, a wizard.
Not wizard? A wizard?
You jest at my accent, but I will jest over your corpse in only a few moments.
He said wizard.
It is now Reginald's turn. The squares that you see before you are 10 feet across.
All right, hang on. Let me get my visual.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I actually declared that I was jaunting across the room to go and split this man down the middle.
Go ahead and split him.
Cleave him in twain.
In twain. Well, I'm going to try to at least. So, let's see. That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Sweet. All right. So I'm going in for the shoulder type area with a 16 of them damage. I'm just using my great axe on this one.
Okay. So you swing upon him. Your great axe. Again, this is a magical great axe, correct?
Indeed.
Your great axe slices and knocks a chunk of Strahd's armor off. As you make contact with his shoulder, he takes the full brunt of the force, and you can see just a little bit of skin broken underneath where the pauldron was, and he says, "You are a strong one, Reginald. This is true."
Well, if you thought that was pretty spicy, I rolled a critical hit
Oh,
on the second.
shoot! Let him have it.
Boy. That is a mighty. Well, it's a 20. It's a 6, a 8, and then a +6 to slashing. So.
Okay, cool. All right, you slice him again. And you slice him again, this time chopping him in his ribs, and he winces. He says, "Ugh, is truly strong."
Nice. All right, so I am unbelievably not doing super awesome on the health. So bonus action, I'm just gonna kind of pivot a little bit so my shield's kind of a little bit more in front of me, and I'm gonna drop down a health potion.
Okay.
Hide it behind the shield so he doesn't know how hurt
Pretty
you are.
much. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Is just like the shield's up and like this really awesome defensive move. Like I know you're coming for me, but I'm ready.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna take this extra health.
So as he does so,
that one, before you get rolling, that was my last potion of superior healing, and that was 26 of them.
Thank you for calling that out. I appreciate it. He is going to bite you now.
No.
He's going to try.
Oh, okay. I mean,
now, be it known, Strahd is a big, beefy boss boy. He can do things that other enemies cannot. So, he's going to use a legendary action now to try to bite you, Reginald.
Reginald feels like Reginald should have legendary Reginald action.
You should, but alas, he rolls a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
All right, so
I'm glad I got some of them health juices before we got going.
He takes 2 hits from you. He grabs you on the shoulder and pulls you in, or he reaches over your shield, grabs it, pulling you toward himself, and he bites down on your neck.
But I don't want him to.
Let's see.
What we got?
He does. Let me find my correct DHs. He does 9 damage to you with the bite.
That sounds like there's more.
Yep.
Oh, dang it.
Oh, God, Reginald.
Oh, dang it.
And then 10 necrotic damage.
Oh, dang it.
And your health point maximum is decreased by 10.
Okay.
He sucks a great deal of your blood.
That's my fluids, man. I need my fluids.
And as he sucks your blood, the wound on his shoulder and the wound on your side, the wound on his side, is the one that you can see with your line of sight, and you can feel the blood leaving your body and the life leaving your body, and you watch the wound on his side close as he sucks blood from your neck.
Oh, free action to yell at these other bozos in the party.
Yeah, you can talk if you want to. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, don't let him get too close. He'll heal him up. It's not good. That's all I got.
And as you go ahead,
cover where I am. Yeah, I wasn't planning on letting him bite me.
Right.
And as you say that, Strahd pulls his teeth away from your neck, blood spurting from your neck and dripping down his face, and he says, "Fellows, your friend Reginald is quite wise." As blood.
First time I've heard that one.
I was about to say.
He was intentionally saying that with a cheeky, I know how you'll react.
For about
to
a
this.
half second, there's like a little bit of pride in Reginald's eyes when he realizes, wait a minute.
All right, Jericho, it's your turn, buddy.
That's all I got.
My turn?
Yep.
Cool. I am going to cast a spell.
All right.
You do it.
Cast it.
Oh, it's a bonus action.
Don't do it, man.
How about that? Yeah, bonus action, cast Hunter's Mark. You
Okay.
choose a creature you can see within range and mystically mark it as your quarry. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra d6 of damage to that target whenever you hit it with a weapon attack.
Tell him what he's
And you
won.
have advantage on any any wisdom-based perception or survival checks you make to find it. If
Okay.
the target drops 0 hit points, I can move it to another creature, but he appears to be the only creature.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I do that. It's just a thing I do. I don't have to make a thing, I don't think.
All right. So, is there any visual effect that happens to Strahd?
It does not say, but I picture sort of like he now has like a glowing outline that only I see.
Okay.
Feel,
Cool. I like it.
because it doesn't apply to anybody else. It's just me.
Gotcha.
Jericho peeks out from behind cover with like finger guns.
Pew! And then for my action, I would like to ready an action. I'd like to ready my crossbow with explodey boy arrow
Okay.
and be prepared for Reginald to back out of that 5-foot radius that he would get hurt within.
Okay. Got it. Cool. Try to keep track of that for me. I'm going to forget that you have that ready, more than likely.
Okay.
Okay.
That's if Reginald moves away or if Strahd moves away. Just as long as Strahd is 5 feet away from my friendos.
Gotcha. You got it. All right. Derman, it is your turn.
Cool.
Remember that you are. I think we canonized that, or at least I gave the description that you tried to dive behind a pew to hide from the fireball, and the armor jumped in front of you. So now dripping off of your body is the cooling molten steel that used to be your armored companion.
Gross. I guess as I'm getting up, I'll kind of try to rub that off as quick as possible, you know, because the pain, and I want to move. Probably I want to be a few feet away, and I want to use an action to use the amulet of Ravenkind
Wait.
that I possess at this point.
Oh yeah, you have it now. Okay. So where you want to go?
I kind of want to move like south of Strahd and Reginald a little bit, like kind of in that pew, that first pew that's like turned. I kind of want to be in front of that one.
Okay, so here.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, you
And
go
then-
running past the pews and stand in front of them near Strahd.
And I imagine like as that's happening, Dermot just kind of grabs the amulet and then like does whatever command word or whatever's necessary to activate sunlight.
Okay.
So what's the radius on that one again?
Bryce, do you have that?
I do. Give me one moment.
You might get it to it faster, but I'll flip.
It's like a quarter mile or something.
The whole castle explodes in fire.
Oh, wait. That's
All right,
the thing.
boys.
We crossed into this reality.
I have so many notebooks and stuff. I forget where I actually had it written down.
All right, well, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Was it not in chat?
I don't think it is.
I got it. It is, you're trying to do the sunlight.
Yeah.
Sunlight has a 30-foot radius, and then a 30-foot radius of dim light. So bright light, then dim light.
Okay.
It lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay, so he should be in that that bright light radius then, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to do that as my action, and then as my bonus action, I want to cast the old healing word upon Reginald.
Okay. As you cast the healing word upon Reginald, Strahd says, "It seems as though you have found the holy symbol buried in the tomb. Good thinking."
So Reginald regains. Hang on, I gotta do some math. 7 hit points,
Nice.
and I regain 3 hit points
Perfect.
because I'm a cleric and we just ooze health.
Okay. So what he's gonna do as your turn over?
C.
Okay. So what Strahd is gonna do after your turn? For a legendary action, he's gonna move towards you.
Yay.
As soon as you turn the light on, and you heal Reginald, Strahd turns to you and hisses, and he moves over towards you.
And he left the area.
And he did. He left the area. So fire.
And so he gets an opportunity of attack. Do I also? Is he
No,
passing
Reginald
out?
does not get an opportunity attack. This
Okay.
legendary action is moves. Strahd moves up to his speed without provoking opportunity attack. So he like whisks away quickly, more quickly than you're able to notice, Reginald.
Okay, but I do get my shot, right?
Yeah, you'll get you can take your shot, and we'll say it happens right in between if you want. You're good at this. You're able to fire right in between
If I hit him.
if you hit him.
While he's rolling, Zenas, how much healing juice did I get?
7.
Nice.
I got a nat 20.
A nat 20. Dang, nice.
Oh, poopy.
Now
I dropped
for
my
this, you'll only double the damage of your arrow.
Well, that's stinky. Do
But
I
not
double?
the alchemist fire?
Do I double the damage of my hunter's mark extra damage?
I think a crit is only for the physical damage. The way I'm thinking about this with the crit is like the fire is
Now
going to
the-
envelop him if he crits. You can't make it envelop him more, but a crit with your arrow is like your arrow goes in a good spot rather than a bad spot.
Yeah, but I don't think the hunter's mark is like it deals magical damage.
Okay, yeah,
I feel
then
like
double
it's
that up.
more like I feel like it's more like you finding the weak spot on the target or something.
Sure, then
Yeah,
double
you
that
roll
up.
crit for spells.
Okay.
Yep.
So D6 for the shot. Another D6 to double it. So I'm at 5.
Yep.
D6 for hunter's mark. D6 to double it. That's plus 8, so that's 13. 2d6 for my sneak attack damage. Do I double that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You technically, I mean, if you're attacking, you roll double damage for all the attacks. Like on every dice roll, you would just double for a crit.
Okay. That's 14 damage more.
Wait,
Was-
more or
was
total?
anybody- 14 more.
Okay, so
for the
13 then
2d6
14,
double.
so 27.
Yeah. And then my my general bonus to my attack bonus is, let me pull it up. I think it's 5. Yeah, plus 5. So do I double that or just that's a base 5?
That's a base 5, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
That would just be an extra 5.
27 plus 5.
Then fire, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
And remember it's not a silver arrow.
I remember that. Yep. I was about to say you're still doing pretty decent damage with this non-magical arrow.
Yeah. And then a D10 of fire damage.
Okay. The arrow hits him. The arrow slips into his
another
side as the fire envelops him as he sprints towards Derman. The arrow remains inside him, and the fire blows up and dissipates. And Derman, you see directly in front of you a cloud of smoke behind the Devil Strahd as he appears before you, grasping at an arrow in his side, which he snaps off. And then he looks to you, since he's moved to you, and it's now his turn. He says, "Now, Derman, don't you want to be kind to me?" And he casts charm person upon you.
Not particularly.
Or charm. So let's see. Strahd targets one humanoid he can see within 30 feet of him. If the target can see Strahd, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Sorry. I always read the DC and I shouldn't. Wisdom saving throw. Against this magic or be charmed.
That is a 14.
It is a DC 17, so you are now charmed by the Devil Strahd. Now,
Wait,
this is what being...
Hold on. Okay, no, yeah. I was going to use inspiration if I had it, but I do not.
The charmed target regards Strahd as a... Holy crap.
Hello.
The thunder just like Strahd is outside. he is in my backyard saying, "Boy, you better win this." Oh my gosh, that thunder. That shook my booty hole. The wisdom saving, the charmed target regards Strahd as a trusted friend to be heeded and protected. The target isn't under Strahd's control, but it takes Strahd's request and actions in the most favorable way and lets Strahd bite it. Each time Strahd or his companions do anything harmful to the target, it can repeat the saving throw, ending the effect on itself on a success. Otherwise, the effect lasts 24 hours or until Strahd is destroyed, is on a different plane of existence than the target, or takes a bonus action to end the effect. So, the only time that you can roll to be uncharmed, Derman, is if you are attacked by Strahd or a friend. Cool.
Okay.
So,
good.
What he says to you after he does charm you, he says, "Now, don't you want to turn off that bright light, my friend?"
Actually, yeah, I didn't realize it would be so discomforting to you. But Strahd, I have to ask, why, if we're so close, are we doing all of this? It doesn't make much sense anymore.
I believe you just had a latent desire to be a close friend of mine, and you have used your two friends to get near to me. Now do not worry, Derman. We can take care of the rabble, and you and I can enjoy a nice feast together once we pile the corpses upon my tombs below. What say you?
Well, I'm not in the mood for killing innocents, I am a cleric.
Very well. You can watch me, and if anyone tries to harm me, you can protect.
Also, hang on a second. Derman is stuck in lawful good mode, right?
Uh-huh.
How am I supposed to play that with Strahd being very clearly evil? Like, is Derman having a crisis of faith at this point?
You can play it however you want, but you have to abide by the charm.
Okay.
The main points being the charm target regards Strahd as a trusted friend to be heeded and protected. You're not under his control, right? I'm not telling you don't do every action, but if you can reasonably do what he asks, it would make sense that you would do that. But it takes Strahd's requests and actions in the most favorable way and lets Strahd bite it. If he were to ask to bite you, you would let him.
Okay. So yeah, I go ahead and turn off the light then.
I guess.
Or whenever.
Yeah. Wait for your turn. We won't give him that much of an advantage. All right, Reginald, it's your turn again, sir.
All right. Wait, do we have a Jericho turn?
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Just rolling up in there. Reginald kind of remembers how it was to be enthralled, or whatever the word may be, and it was not pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
So he sees what's going on. He is he's just jumping up in there. He's going to take a mighty swing upon Strahd.
Okay.
It was a 13.
The 13 will not hit. As you run up towards Strahd's back as he's having a conversation with Derman, you swing upon him. He raises up a gauntleted forearm and catches your axe as it comes down. Ting!
And the second one was a 19 plus 10, but a 19 for me is a critical hit.
Nice. So that one definitely will hit.
Ooh, I like it. 18 damage on that one.
Okay.
And I'm like a little bit more towards like the Derman side of this thing, and with that second hit, I want to take a half second to say, Derman, remember your friends.
He does remember his friends, Reginald. I'm his only friend here now. And so, as you swing that second axe down, you crack him once, and then you crack him again. So he blocks the first one with his forearm, and you just rear back and crack that forearm, that gauntlet again, and this time your blade goes through the gauntlet and into his flesh. When you pull it out, blood comes out, and he hisses as he's in pain as well.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stream, Skilvy. We are killing a vampire, or the vampire is killing. Who knows how that's going to work? But I read everything you guys write. I just can't respond to it too much like I'm doing now because we are recording a podcast. The bot should let you know these things, but he's off duty tonight, it seems. But so glad to see you, Skilvy. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so as you attack him the one time, he is going to try to attack you back with another legendary action, an unarmed strike.
We've got a lot of legendary going on.
Yeah, he's a tough boy who gets to do them things. He's gonna roll this time. He rolls a 17 to hit you on that one.
Negative, sir.
So he swipes at you, and you're able to put up your shield and knock his hand away as he swipes at you with his claws.
Clunk denied.
From here, it is Jericho's turn.
Cool. Okay, Keith, I got kind of a stretch of a turn kind of planned out.
Okay.
You're welcome to deny me. So, normally, if you make a weapon attack, then you have the ability to make you can throw a dagger as a bonus action.
Yep.
Would you allow me to throw something else as a bonus action instead?
Like what?
Like, whenever we first got to Barovia, we found the dead guy, and he had like an expired health potion or something like that. It's like a chunky.
Yeah.
You said it looked kind of like a lava lamp.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that at Derman and see if I can wake him up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay,
I thought you were going to say, like, I know I sometimes throw daggers. Could I throw a wooden pew? Like, no, sadly, no, you can't throw a wooden pew, but you, of course, can throw that. You can throw that potion.
All right, cool. So, number one, I'm going to... How tall is Strahd? Do you think I would be able to hit him with a crossbow bolt without hitting the other boys?
Reginald's right in between, and Reginald's at least as tall as Strahd, and there's a big shield between Reginald and Strahd, too. I'd call Strahd between you and Reginald, Strahd's like in full cover at this point.
Okay. Then I want to run out of my little alcove and run to the door from the heading out of that hallway.
Over here?
Like the same kind of like hiding inside of it again.
Oh, over here?
No, the doorway, but not standing in front of it like a doof.
Okay, you want to like open the door a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just basically the same thing I was doing before, but one door down. Yeah,
Gotcha. Cool.
And then from there, I'd like to ready the action that if I get a clear shot, I want to fire a silvered arrow at Strahd.
Okay.
And then for my bonus action, I would like to throw one chunky potion at Derman.
All right. Roll to hit.
Okay.
Using dexterity, I believe.
Yeah. That's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
All right. So, Derman, I'm going to roll damage for this expired health potion because it's not very good for you. But you lucked out. You're only going to take 3 damage from it.
Hey.
So, a health potion smacks into your face, and it leaks all down the front of your chest, and it begins to sizzle and burn some of your hair off you cat man. And so you now have the opportunity to re-roll your wisdom saving throw.
How's that expired health potion and burning hair smell?
It smells very stale, very acidic. It smells a lot like vomit if you had vomited up well-seasoned Cajun mushrooms.
Oh,
I like it.
that is a very aromatic visual right there.
It smells real bad. I'm hesitant.
Exactly.
I might give you some damage too, Reginald, just for smelling it.
You know what? If it's that bad, I'd take the damage.
Yeah.
if the damage is for smelling it is more than actually being touched by it, I don't know, man.
This is an important role for Derman right here.
So, plot twist. Derman wants to like Strahd.
What'd you roll?
I'm just kidding. I rolled a 21.
Oh.
I was just imagining, like, because you said I have the opportunity, so I was just like, Derman doesn't want to save.
Gotcha.
He's evil now. No, yeah, I rolled a 21.
All right, he rolls a 21. Yeah, Derman, you shake yourself loose. You do the old cat ear shake thing, and you notice the burning on you, and it's as if you're woken up from a bad dream, and you see Strahd standing before you with an evil grin as you come out of the charm.
So there's like that confusion, like just kind of like I imagine that there's a faint level of euphoria kind of with this charm, like with any charm really, like that's how I've always imagined it, like you're kind of unaware of just on a very faint base level. So like it's like, yeah, like you said, coming out of that dream, he feels the burn, and then he's just kind of like, oh, that's okay. Then like wait a minute, what? And then he kind of like looks down, like pats himself off, and then like goes like, what? And looks back up at Strahd, and then like just kind of like growls and bares his fangs ready to fight.
Nice. That being the case, he is going to, noticing that you're out of the charm and Jericho just taking that action, and ending his turn, he is going to say, well, I suppose it was worth a try, and then reach at you and bite you.
Oh, is he within 5 feet of my person?
He's not leaving 5 feet of your person.
No, Derman is within 5 feet of my person. Yeah, we're in the same
square. Y'all are all on each other. I
impose disadvantage.
Splendid. Disadvantage upon Strahd for your protecting of him. Will a 16 hit?
Yeah.
A 16 will still hit. He rolled a 13 and a 7 to roll you in, to let you in on that one. But he got some big time additions. So his bite, he is going to reach in and grab your neck. He's going to bite you. You're going to take 9 piercing damage. And then 12 necrotic damage, reducing your health point maximum by 12. As he sucks your blood, he jams his teeth in. He sucks life away from you, bringing life back to himself. You see some of his wounds heal up on his body. The tip of the arrow that once was in his side shoots out of his side as the hole seals up, and he says, "You should have remained my friend, Derman."
No, death is a far better fate than that.
Solid comeback. Take inspiration for that little clap back, Derman. Solid. Love it.
Only he had that 5 minutes ago.
Hey, this isn't Weenie Hut Jr. Come on now. We're fighting Strahd here. We're fighting Strahd. But now... What?
Don't you mean Mega Weenie Hut Jr.?
It is now Derman's turn.
Hey, look at that. I'm going to pull my dagger from its sheath.
Splendid.
And I'm going to cast the spell Spirit Shroud. It is a 3rd level spell of the school necromancy. It is 1 precise bonus action. You call forth spirits of the dead, which flit around you for the spell's duration. It's basically a weaker spirit guardians.
Uh-huh.
The spirits are intangible and invulnerable. Until the spell ends, any attack you make deals 1d8 extra damage when you hit a creature within 10 feet of you. This damage is radiant, necrotic, or cold. Your choice is going to be radiant. Any creature that takes this damage can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
In addition, any creature of your choice that you can see that starts its turn within 10 feet of you has its speed reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. So Strahd.
Okay.
Definitely. And then I'm going to cast the old green flame blade for mega doo-doo damage on Strahd if it hits. So let's see what happens.
So the Spirit Guardians thing, there wasn't any sort of roll yet.
No, No, that one, there's no roll with Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
It's just if I hit, it deals extra damage.
Gotcha.
As opposed to the other one having a wider radius and dealing more damage, requiring a save. This one's just a little bit of damage and less radius. Also, it only affects like one creature, I think.
Gotcha.
But that, my man, is a 26 to hit.
That will hit him for certain.
Okay, good, because I'm gonna like pull out the sword, pull out the dagger, and like just try to jab it right in his ribs on his left side.
Okay.
And so yeah, so I'm gonna do that.
You do it. You successfully jam the dagger in.
Well, okay. 2, 6. That is a mighty 18 damage.
Okay.
A fair portion of that is radiant damage.
Okay. He takes the damage. It sizzles him.
Well,
go ahead.
I don't have anything to say.
Oh, okay. Will that end your turn?
That will indeed end my turn.
All right. Very well. Strahd is now going to have his turn. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? Strahd will say to you, "It seems you all turned out to be more worthy opponents than I once assumed you might be." At this point, he is going to whisk himself backward away from you to the top of the altar. Bing. But this type of movement will open him up to opportunity attacks if you have them.
Yeah.
And I readied the action to shoost him.
That is correct. You did shoost him. So let's let Jericho shoost him.
Will a 21 hit?
A 21 will hit.
Cool. So I do. This is a silvered arrow, not a flamey one, because I didn't think that
Right.
I'd actually get a chance to hit him with a flamey one.
Cool.
So that's 6. Plus, I get an extra d6 of Hunter's Mark damage. That's another 6.
Nice.
Plus 2d6 of sneak attack damage. That's another 6.
You're
Plus
still getting
5.
sneak attack? Remind me why the sneak attack damage is. I don't remember sneak attack.
If he is by himself or if he is within 5 feet of an ally.
So if he exists. No, if he had other allies.
If he has an ally with him, then I don't get the sneak attack bonus.
Gotcha.
But I'm going by like right as he's leaving
Sure.
Reginald's space.
Yeah.
Because
total
I figure I have my crossbow trained on him. I'm waiting on him.
Yeah.
And like as soon as his little head peeks out from behind that big green Reginald, pew. But yeah, that's so that was 3 6s plus 5 is 18 plus 5 is 23 damage with a silver
Alright.
arrow.
23 damage. Nice, man. That's a lot of damage. All right. He takes the damage. The arrow catches him in his ribs. Ah, he winces.
Yeah.
All right. Will either of you take opportunity attacks?
Yes.
Let it be. So
I rolled a 15 plus 10 to hit, so
that
it's
will hit.
25. And it's a 17 on the damage with the old hacks.
All right. Okay. So he on the way out, he also gets hit. He's trying to take the hit to make the play. He leaves your area. He gets hit by 2 items. He winces again. Will that be
I
all?
caused the wince.
I'm also going to attack him.
Okay.
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh boy. All right.
So
I need
handle
cameras on these dice, dadgummit.
1 die at a time.
That's a lot of rolling. Ooh.
30 damage.
He takes 30
Yeah.
damage. Oh man, so he does. He takes 30 damage. The Devil Strahd is looking quite very much worse for the wear. You stab him. Blood leaks out of him as he sprints over to the front of the altar. By the time he gets there, he takes another arrow to the chest. Reginald has chopped the back of his leg. He says, "Maybe I did underestimate you. Or maybe not." And he raises up his hand, and the biggest fireball he can muster. He's got another one in him. And he sends an extremely large fireball hurling towards Derman and Reginald.
Oh.
Now,
I thought I was gonna pick off Jericho back there. I was like, no.
things are about to get a little bit hairy, boys.
Getting Dragon Ball Z up in here.
It's a spirit bomb. Vegeta comes bursting through the window. All right, sorry.
Scouter.
So
9,000.
a bright streak flashes to a point choosing within range right at your feet, and then blossoms with a low roar into an explosion of flame. Each creature in 20-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a dexterity saving throw. Make your dexterity saving throws, please.
How far?
You're safe.
Okay, cool.
That is a 19 plus 1, 20.
Okay.
Will an 18 do it?
His saving throws are a what now?
18.
Yeah, an 18 will succeed. You both succeed on your saving throw, so you're both able to jump out of the way. But will it be enough? I have no idea. How are you guys looking, by the way? I'd love to know.
Oh, this might kill me.
Speak.
Well,
One
it
at a
won't
time?
kill me.
Sorry, I didn't hear what either of you said.
Josh said crispy.
I said crispy.
Okay, gotcha. All right, sorry. So we're gonna do a lot of fire damage.
I didn't get much information on either of those.
I'm a little bit around like a halfway point here.
Okay.
I'm also at the halfway point.
All right, I'm gonna add this damage up. 4,
I
7,
look nearly immaculate.
Just amazing.
12,
Vibrant?
13,
Really close.
15, 21,
Man.
22, 26, 31, 36. Cut that in half.
That's what he did last time.
Okay.
Cut that in half is what, 15 to 16 if you round up.
Wait, 18.
18.
Oh, sorry, you're right. I'm stupid. I'm DMing. I've got the whole world in my head. That's what I always blame on when I make bad math. 18 damage. So you both take 18 damage.
But what if we don't want to?
If you don't want to, I'm very sorry.
Oh, okay.
It gives me no pleasure to do this to you.
Mm-hmm. Surely.
Tell me what happens, or how are you? I need to know how to describe what happens to you.
I have
I'm-
10 hit points left.
Okay.
32 remaining. I basically that takes me down to about 1/3 health.
You still have 32?
Yeah.
Good gravy. All right. So you
Remember,
both take damage.
Health potion earlier, so.
So we'll say you both are able to dive behind the pew right behind yourself.
Hello?
I had my big shield, so.
Hello, what?
Bryce said he'll be right back. Somebody just called his phone. So
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm sure something about it.
We'll wait for him to return.
Mom and Daddy were going on like a Valentine's Day date, and they said to keep an ear out if Brinley or Bailey called, and Brinley just called, but she said it's not important when I told her I was recording.
Okay,
Got it.
cool, wonderful.
All is right in the world.
All right, you guys are successful in dodging the fireball that
I just want that visual of like Reginald with his big giant shield and like the flames are just wrapping around it. Yeah.
yes, the fuels are wrapping around it. Derman, you're able to hop behind the casket there, and what is going to happen as well is he's going to use the rest of his movement speed. Bingo, bango, bongo. He's going to use the rest of his movement speed to conceal himself behind the altar, giving himself some cover, trying to get away from you. It is now not Reginald's turn, actually. Because above the Devil Strahd, right behind him, there are big stained glass windows that have been boarded up. But crashing through the top of one of those windows is a single raven with several gray feathers. The raven flies into the room, skittering through the broken glass. A few drops of blood are dripping off of him as he flies in and lands here. It is none other than Davian Martikov. Your friend. He lands before you. Here, between the pews. And he turns himself into his old man self. He lands on the ground, his old man self. On his face and on his chest, you can see there are pieces of broken glass sticking out of him. Blood drips down. He stands and he turns and he says, "Well, boys, it looked as though you were giving him a run for his money. I figured it was time to throw my hat in the ring."
Yes!
We're glad to know we've got your support, Davian. I was wondering when you were
Oh.
Now, Strahd, the final thing he's going to do with a bonus action is he's going to pull a vial from his chest and slurp it down.
that doo-doo head. He's not allowed to do that. He's a bad guy.
Oh, he's allowed to do that. He sucks the vial down, and you see many of his wounds on his body heal as he slams the empty vial of blood on the altar with drops of it spreading across the stone surface. His eyes glow red, his teeth drip with blood, and he seems reinvigorated, ready for more.
Doggone it.
It is now Reginald's turn.
Alright, fine. I'm grabbing my satchel. I'm gonna swing it over my head, slingshot style.
Okay.
I want to yell at him, "Drink on these!" and chuck all 7 of those alchemist fires in the satchel back behind that little. What is he? It's
A dais.
It's
I
a
guess.
dais or it's a thing.
An altar?
Chucking it back there where he's at.
Altar. That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you...
He wanted some cover, but I'm chucking that thing right behind him
All
up
right.
against that wall.
So, I'll run that one of two ways depending on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to just get it in the area, he's going to get a saving throw. If you want to hit him with it, we'll roll against his AC.
Well, I mean, I want to hit him with it.
Okay.
Go with the saving throw. I don't think you have the dex.
I don't. Well, I mean, if I miss hitting him with it, where's it gonna go? Am I gonna throw it behind me? I mean,
Let's
where?
roll a dex. Let's roll a dex. See if you hit him with it. Roll a dexterity attack.
All right. Un momento, por favor. It was a 19 plus a 1 dex.
All right. So you're
So
able.
that count as a no, it would be a weapon attack, but it would be a critical if it's an attack.
Critical throw.
Critical throw.
Critical chuck.
So let us. Yes. You throw the bag of alchemist fire at him.
Yes.
The alchemist fire, of course, collides with his face, and he's going to take a d4 of damage for the bag and the bottles and stuff hitting his face and whatever happens there. So
The
let's
remains of the cushion rabbit inside.
go ahead and roll that damage for me,
How many
Reginald.
we got?
Just roll 1d4 for now. This is just the collision damage we're talking about.
Ooh, that was a whole 1.
All right, so he's gonna take 1 damage because you can't split 1 in half.
Right.
Now he's going to get a saving throw. He's a legendary being. He's going to get a saving throw to dodge and see if he can take not as much of the damage as he would have if he were not a legendary vampire lord. So he's going to roll a dexterity saving throw.
I mean, I'm a legendary red. Does that count?
And gosh, what do we want to make the DC? I mean, you hit him with it. Let's just make the difficulty class a 20 for him. How about that? So if he beats a 20, well, there are 2 ways that he can succeed, and I don't want to spoil it for you. But anyway, he's going to roll a dexterity saving throw. He rolls a 27 dexterity saving throw. So the bottles collide with his face. How many bottles did you have?
7.
And how much damage do they do? D10, did I say?
I think so. That's what my fire arrows do.
All right, roll 7 D10s, and then he'll take half of that damage.
All right. That was 29.
29?
29.
Okay.
29 was the whole thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so, goodness. What's that? That's going to be 14 and a half, so 15 damage?
Yeah. Man, I was kind of counting on some more from that. Dang.
7 times 10 is 29.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stinks. Sorry. But he dives out of the way of the explosion. Whoosh, out from behind the altar towards one of the boarded up windows behind him. The altar explodes in flame. Now, I should remind you that a few other things explode in flame. If I can find where that occurs. So if you'll remember, the room that you were in, the description of this room, by the way, is dim colored light filters through tall, broken, and boarded up windows of stained glass, illuminating the ancient chapel of Ravenloft. A few bats flutter about near the top of the 90-foot high dome ceiling. A balcony runs the length of the west wall, 50 feet above the floor. In the center of the balcony, 2 dark shapes are slumped in tall chairs. Benches, coated with centuries of dust, lie about the floor in jumbled disarray. Beyond this debris, lit by a piercing shaft of light, an altar stands upon a stone platform. The sides of the altar are carved with the bas reliefs of angelic figures entwined with grapevines. The light from above falls directly on a silver statuette. A cloaked figure is draped over the altar, and a black mace lies on the floor near its feet. So the cloaked figure that was draped over the altar is now completely burned to a crisp, destroyed.
Okay.
Burned away, and the mace that was lying on the floor is now red hot with the heat of the fire.
Is the fire an ongoing thing, or was it just like a poof and then it's gone?
It's a poof because it's all stone up there, stone and silver.
Gotcha.
But
this is like a kind of thing.
It should be noted that the pews behind you and Derman are absolutely on fire.
Oh, okay.
So the light of Derman's symbol and the light of the pews or the fire of the pews are now certainly lighting this room quite well.
Okay. That's all I got on this round.
All right, Reginald. Jericho, your turn, sir.
Okay. These squares are 5 feet, correct?
10 feet.
10 feet.
Yes, sir.
Well, poop.
Run it back. We mentioned it at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah. Strahd kept moving. He moved like 3 times since my last turn. I've been waiting to rush him.
Yeah, he does.
Like, okay.
He's done a lot of moving. Oh, you know what? I need to mention one more thing based on your fortune telling. Hold up. Let me find. There's an item that's also on fire behind that altar, just to let you know.
This last card says you die.
There is also a book that is now on fire burning behind the altar. A big, heavy book. And when you see that book on fire, Jericho, your mind is instantly transported back to Madame Ava. And you feel as though that book might have had something to do with your fortune tellings.
Okay. Should I look at that, or is that just kind of a?
You're not over there, but you could be if you wanted to. I'm just saying that's your call.
Like, should I look back at the
notes?
I will tell you what your note said.
I got it right here.
I have it right here too. You remember that she said you will find, or this card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. So you feel as though that might have been a book that would help you understand your enemy.
Okay. Well then, cool. You have solved what I'm going to do this turn. Kinda.
Oh gosh, that pause made me so afraid. I had no idea if we were offline or something. Oof.
Oh no, we're good.
Okay, cool.
I can unplug it again if you want.
Yeah,
please don't. Please don't do that.
Okay.
All right. So I am going to run my distance.
Yep.
The book is right behind the altar, right?
Correct.
I'm going to run my distance towards the altar. So that's 30 feet. That gets me to K15, right?
Yep. You run past Davian.
Yeah. And then bonus action, I'm going to. You said everything. The fire is going out, other than these items that are flammable, correct?
Yeah, they're. Yep. The book is smoldering, and there's a red hot mace on the floor.
Using my dash, can I dash there and then use the rest of it to still retreat?
Yeah. Just you get your full motion, your full movement. So you want to say, let's say you hop up onto the platform. You do a Bo Duke hood slide across the altar, your hips sliding through the blood and glass that Strahd left on there. You land on the other side. You grab the book, swat it against your body to put out the fire, and then where are you headed from here?
Retreat towards. Actually, can I make it to Strahd?
Let's see.
Action. That was a bonus action to do that.
You move 30, and you can dash with a bonus action. Yeah, you can get over there, sure.
Cool.
But you're not gonna be able to turn on that sword.
Oh, not cool. I retreat.
Just want to help you out.
Gotcha.
Backing up.
Can I shoot my crossbow at him?
Yeah, if you got it loaded up, sure.
I think it fires and reloads whenever I use it.
Okay.
The mechanic, I believe.
Sure.
That's 18 to hit.
That will hit him.
Cool.
What kind of bolt you've had in there?
This was just gonna be a silver arrow.
Okay. The silver arrow collides with his body.
But the shaft is a 2x4.
Good lord. You nail him to the wall.
Through the wall.
You guys are giving 19 damage with your silver arrow?
Yes, sir.
All right. Splendid. All right.
And then retreat to De Reginald.
Okay. You can get about, not quite there, but you can get over there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Another arrow enters Strahd's body. He winces again. You all have been quite a group of opponents, and Davian, I see you have joined us here this evening. Yes, Strahd. I have joined you. I promised these boys that if they got close to killing your crazy ass, I'd be there to help them.
I love it.
Now you said he was bloody when he came in. Do we understand that is from crashing through the window, or does it seem like he's fought his way here?
He seems a little haggard. He seems like he might have fought his way here, and the last blow would have been crashing through the window. Davian is out of breath. Davian is out of breath, and his weapon that he carries, which is His short sword is drawn, and he's ready to do some fighting. His short sword is also somewhat bloodied. It seems as though he might have had to swashbuckle his way through here. That makes
Davian, Davian, did you see all the bats coming in? Did you have much trouble with them?
I wouldn't call them trouble, but I certainly did see them. As he says that, he looks at his sword with all the blood on it, and he like samurai swings his sword, and blood shoots off the end of it.
All right, that's it. That's my RP for the day.
Okay, for the day. All right, Dermot, it's your turn now, sir.
I'm gonna use a bonus action to take a healing potion into my body so I don't die.
All right, do it.
All right, let me roll it up real quick. Okay, all right, we're getting somewhere. It's 2 rolls and 2 ones.
Oh boy.
Gosh, okay. Gosh, okay. All right. Okay, so I get 24 health back, which is pretty, which that's that's not bad. That's pretty
nice.
Good. I'm gonna move forward. I've got 40 feet of movement. Can I make it to within 10 feet of Strahd?
Get my thing back up. 40 feet, that'd be 10, 20. Yeah, you can get there.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go over there.
You run over there.
Going to, wait, hang on. Actually, let me make sure what I'm gonna do with my.
He left my area attack of opportunity.
Dermot.
No. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna firebolt this poor fella.
Okay.
Right. Got some hearty thunder brewing outside. Just letting you know that with our luck, power could be lost.
Okay. Well, hopefully not.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I could do something else. Yeah. No, I'm just gonna firebolt him.
Okay.
Will a 24 hit him?
A 24 will hit him.
Excellent. Good. That's good. He's gonna take 22 damage, 7 of which is radiant damage.
Okay. You firebolt him directly in the chest. Part of his armor and burns off. His cape that he wears draped around him, much of it is singed now. But he is going to respond to you in somewhat kind by casting a spell upon you, young man. Okay.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, you're not done yet. Oh yeah, that was a bonus action. Sorry.
I'm gonna use my No, I used my action bonus action. I'm gonna use my free action tabaxi trait to 40 feet movement myself back away to where I was.
Okay. No attack of opportunity?
I mean, I'm 10 feet away from him, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's true. So he can't attack of opportunity. So yes, back to where you were?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you run in and attack him. But that blow was enough to anger him. He's very upset with you, particularly you and Reginald, who he has once charmed, and who have dealt probably the most damage to him today. So far, it's only Jericho the Bookworm hasn't harmed him too much, except for a couple of arrows. But you, Dermot, have done quite a deal of damage, so he is going to cast Blight upon you, sir.
Oh, good. Good.
Necromantic energy washes over a creature of Strahd's choice that he can see within range. Hold up. Before he casts Blight, he walks towards you 10 feet. Then he casts Blight upon you.
I just imagine he's like like the spell and the magic is charging up in his hand, and then he's like, wait a minute, that's not going to reach him.
Hold up.
And shuffles over.
Yeah, to me, I've got like that bowler's sight in mind. Like you line it up, and you take like that big step forward.
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, just purple necrotic blackish purple energy is in his hand, and he reaches out, and you must make a Constitution saving throw. This spell is draining moisture and vitality from your body.
Good. Will an 18 do it?
An 18 will do it, sir. You succeed. You will take half the damage that he produces with this necrotic damage. But lucky for you, this necrotic damage will not reduce your hit point maximum.
Good.
So
Good.
7. What's that? 6. So 13. 16. 23. 24. 32. 34. 36. Again, half of that, 18 damage you are blighted with.
You certainly like keeping me down, don't you?
You could have been my friend.
Why would I want that?
It is better than dying a horrible death here. From there, he is going to Zada Zing, Zada Zoom, Zam Z, which in non-vampire terms for you laymen, is he's going to take the rest of his movement speed here, and he is going to move to behind some pews to try to get a little cover from all you scary damage dealers. Also, he does not like the bright sunlight. Davian now is going to sprint towards him. Davian. Too long have you ruled over this land. Too long have you sucked the life from our people. Too long have you lived. And he stabs toward Strahd with his short sword. Will it be short enough? He's gonna roll now. Alas. He's gonna roll once with one attack. This attack will not hit. He's gonna swipe again, trying to hit. Again, his blade does not hit. Strahd is too powerful for this old man. It seems as though Davian may only be a distraction, but either way could be helpful to you. Strahd swipes away his swords with ease, and as Davian swipes on the second time, Strahd grabs his throat and pulls him in for a bite.
He's got that lawful blood. Does that count for something?
It's gonna be tasty.
Oh,
Strahd Strahd rolls a 27 to bite. Davian.
That misses, right?
Huh?
That misses, right?
Yeah, it misses. No, it doesn't miss.
old man there.
Davian swipes twice, and the three of you watch as Strahd pulls his neck in and clamps down on Davian's mouth, sucking blood from his body. Oh boy. The man rolled 3 6s. 3 bloody 6s.
Oh, no.
It's not enough to kill him. It's not enough to kill Davian. We got word that we have taken a PP break, so we'll wait for Derman to get back from his PP break. But it's not enough to kill Davian, but it's enough to suck him almost dry.
He looks like a withered old man raisin.
Yeah, he does look very much like that. Giving Strahd back some health as well.
Now, how much does this look like this is doing for him? On a scale of not as much as that health potion did to as much as that health potion did, how much does this look like it's healing?
It doesn't look like it's healing all his wounds. The health potion didn't heal all his wounds, and it was a vial of blood, but the health potion didn't heal all of his wounds. This seems to have healed fewer of his wounds. He's still singed. Much of him is still bleeding as you have attacked him. It still looks as though it's possible Strahd may have bitten off more than he can chew, but we'll see. Ha 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 ha! Didn't realize that was.
He's chewed on all but one of us so far. So
That's true.
I have yet to be chewed.
That is true.
not even a nibble.
Ooh, actually, you know what? I need to remember as well that Davian's hit point maximum was just reduced by 8 freaking teen.
Ooh.
Just to let you know, that
He'll be
ain't
fine.
much.
His sword was not short enough.
It was not short enough. All right.
Yours is short. Is this just a hilt?
Davian looks even more withered. And as Strahd pulls his teeth out of Davian's neck, his withered body that remains alive, but he turns to Jericho and Reginald and Dermot sitting there, and he turns to you and he says, "I'm sorry, boys. It seems I am not strong enough."
I'll just hang in there, Davian. We'll get rid of him.
Strahd pulls his teeth out and says, "Yes, Davian. Hang in there."
Reginald's just glaring this whole time. He's done with this Strahd guy.
Speaking of Reginald, it's your turn, my friend.
Woo! Let it be known through this entire thing, Reginald as a character keeps referring to Strahd as Strug.
Yeah.
All right. So we're having some difficulty with this fellow here. All right. Noticing that some of these magical things that Dermot is doing seems to be doing a little bit more something. I'm gonna try the old mace that I got. I'm bust out the thigh bone.
All right, bust a thigh bone, baby.
And it's a 20, not natural to hit.
All right, that will do.
And he is of the undead sort, right?
Correct.
All right. An extra 2d6 damage, so that's 11 plus 2, 6. So 11 plus 8 is like 40.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go with like 40.
19. Just to be clear to everyone here, let me remember what mark her thigh bone. This was
The notes I have on it. It says if 25 hit points or fewer, taking the damage must succeed on DC 15 Wisdom saving throw, or be destroyed. Successful save, creature becomes frightened of you until the end of the next turn.
Okay.
Oh, and bright light 20 foot, dim light additional 20 foot.
Okay, that doesn't apply just yet to Mr. Strahd. But gotcha. I knew there was some sort of or be destroyed thing.
Right.
Now, tell me about what happens with there's something about that weapon can be destroyed.
In the little compendium thing I have on mine, it doesn't say anything about destroyed. So I'm going by whatever notes you have.
It's the Mace of Disruption, and once it makes 2 attacks, it is exploded.
Okay.
2 attacks against an undead, yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, well, hang on that old fella right
so,
there.
if I'm counting correctly, I know it hit at least one thing in the tombs. Did it not?
It's gonna be like the same combat.
Oh, yeah, that's it. All right, so he hit once. Reginald, whenever your axe, or whenever your St. Markovia's thigh bone collides with Strahd, and you hit him in his ribs with it, you know you hit him pretty hard, but you didn't expect to hit him hard enough for a crack to produce itself down the center of the thigh bone. This thing looks like it could be fragile. You may have only one hit left with it.
Gotcha. All right. I'm imagining this thing almost like big giant chicken bone size thing. I'm just going to shove that back in my pack, grab my axe for that second attack.
Okay.
With a mighty nope. That was a 13 on that one.
All right, that one will miss. Finally, Strahd is able to put up a hand and swat your axe away.
Okay.
Reginald, am I tiring you out?
Never. All right, I'm going in for the shoot. Where'd it go? Action surge.
Okay.
All right. Push yourself beyond your normal limits for a moment. On your turn, you can take an additional action on top of your regular action and a possible bonus action. So I'm just gonna try to see if I can get some more damage up in there. 23 to hit
That will hit.
with 17 on the damage.
17 on the damage. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That axe blow drives itself deep into the belly of Strahd. You pull it out and blood flows forth. He looks unwell.
And bonus action, my last thing, I'm chugging my very last, and my tiniest health potion, 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
And it is really thundering out there.
Oh boy.
So,
It's raining here.
Daddy
Okay.
Strahd, please don't turn off the lights.
I got 6. I got 6 of them health.
Okay.
Ah. Okay, and that's all I got.
Okay.
I'm kind of staying up there near where good old Davy is at. Stick with me, Davy. We'll get out of this.
Strahd, taking your belly smack, he uses a legendary action to move himself as far away as possible into the corner of the room. Davian says, "Thank you, Reginald. I don't know how much more I can hold on."
Sneeze too?
Huh?
Did he sneeze too?
Let's say he coughed up some blood. How about that?
All right, I love it.
Jericho, it is your turn.
Well, this slimy little vampire has been too far away from me to hit him with the sword the whole time.
Yeah.
So, crossbow again. This will be my third to last silver arrow. Got 2 left after this one.
If you want, Bryce, you haven't gotten to use the sword yet. Strahd is not looking very well. I wonder if you'll get... No, screw it. I'm not playing that game. Use your crossbow.
Yeah, don't do that. I will use my bonus action at the end of this turn. Remind me to actually turn on the freaking sword. I guess well, no, I can't do that now. I got a crossbow. So yeah, shoost an arrow at him, and
Okay.
I'm now recalling that I do have an extra attack. I could always fire 2 bolts, but I don't get my sneak attack and all that.
True.
But it's okay. So, 1 silvered arrow shoosting at the boy. That's an unnatural 20 to hit.
That will hit.
Cool.
Unnaturally.
You might be surprised to find out where it hits.
That is 18 damage.
With a silvered arrow?
Yep.
Strahd, obviously worse for the wear, but ever confident, gives a snide remark to Reginald as he leaves. And instead of whisking around like he had been, he stumbles through the pews towards the corner of the room. It truly does seem as though he may have underestimated you. And as he turns, prepared to continue to do battle with you, blood leaks from his belly, his shoulders, his legs, his arms. He battered, his cape is torn. He is a monarch, seemingly, if not fully dethroned, at least disgraced. Jericho, desiring to use the sun sword, but opting for a silvered arrow instead, knowing that a silvered arrow does deal damage to this undead creature, fires a bolt. It sails directly past Reginald's right ear. A fletching barely tickles Reginald's right ear. The bolt flies across the room and splits Strahd directly between his eyes.
Huh.
The arrow sticks into the wall behind him. Strahd pulls his head forward. He stumbles one time. He falls forward on his face and then dissipates into mist. The mist floats up into the air for a brief moment, and then through a crack in the floor, is sucked down into the floor, seemingly traveling through the floor.
Welcome to
That
Tank Town.
doesn't feel like a win.
No, it
Didn't-
certainly does not.
No, but
No.
I feel progress.
Yeah. Hang on. I got this book. Let me take a look at it and see if there's anything about disappearing into earth cracks.
Do you want to take a reading break?
Can I take a reading break?
Yeah, we can take a reading break. Davian says, I believe I have seen this before. He has become a mist. The tome may tell us something. I do not know. From the chat real quick. Shallow, welcome to the stream, buddy. Arrows do make a pish sound. Thank you so much for following Garfield the Human. Thank you for being here. I love Garfield. I hope you're making a Garfield reference. I don't know. And Mark says, GG, boys. We'll see about that. Let's read the Tome of Strahd. There's a great deal of reading.
More of a swish thunk sound.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Swish for travel, and thunk for impact. And we can't forget the bow twang.
Twang.
Well, I mean, if the arrow's just sitting around, it doesn't make any noise.
That's true. Unless it's a talking arrow.
Right. You gotta watch out for them. Those are the worst.
From the Tome of Strahd section in Appendix F. So you have picked up the Tome of Strahd,
Yes.
a
I
book.
will absorb its knowledge through my reading holes.
His tome, revealing where he came from and stuff like that. Can it just be like a teenage girl's diary, Tank?
Here's
Like,
the
oh
diary.
my god, Irina is so hot, and I want to get with her, but I just can't unless I'm a
Bite her on the
vampire.
neck.
I'm just gonna bite her on her neck. I'm gonna bite her on her sexy neck. All right, from the Tome of Strahd. You know what's cool about this book is that everything is written in this unreadable cursive.
That's my favorite part.
So we got some reading. We got some reading to do. Okay, finally, the chat bot tells you guys why I don't respond a ton to chat. So read up.
We don't like y'all.
All right. From the Tome of Strahd, you read this.
Go for it.
I am the ancient. I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past. I was the warrior. I was good and just. I thundered across the land like the wrath of a just god, but the war years and the killing years wore down my soul, and the wind wears stone into sand. All the goodness sleeps from my all goodness. God, why don't they just write it, man? All goodness slipped from my life. I found my youth and strength gone, and all I had felt was death. All I had left was death. My army settled in the valley of Barovia and took power over the people in the name of a just God, but with none of a God's grace or justice. I called for my family, long unseated from their ancient thrones, and brought them here to settle in the castle Ravenloft. They came with a younger brother of mine, Sergei. He was handsome and youthful. I hate him for both. From the families of the valley, one spirit shone above all the others, a rare beauty who was called perfection, joy, and treasure. Her name was Tatiana, and I longed for her to be mine. I loved her with all my heart. I loved her for her youth. I loved her for her joy. But she spurned me. Old One was my name to her. Elder and brother also. This man got friend zone. Her heart went to Sergei. They were betrothed. The date was set. With words she called me brother, but when I looked into her eyes, they reflected another name, death. It was the death of the age that saw. It was the death of the ages that she saw in me. She loved her youth and enjoyed it, but I had squandered mine. The death she saw in me turned her from me, and so I came to hate death. My death. My hate is very strong. I would not be called death so soon. I made a pact with death, a pact of blood. On the day of the wedding, I killed Sergei, my brother. My pact was sealed with his blood. I found Tatiana weeping in the garden east of the chapel. She fled from me. She would not let me explain, and a great anger swelled within me. She had to understand the pact I made for her. I pursued her. Finally, in despair, she flung herself from the walls of Ravenloft, and I watched everything I ever wanted fall from my grasp forever. It was 1,000 feet through the mists. No trace of her was ever found. Not even I know her final fate. Arrows from the castle guards pierced me to my soul, but I did not die. Nor did I live. I became undead. Forever. I have studied much since then. Vampire is my new name. I still lust for life and youth, and I curse the living that took them from me. Even the sun is against me. If it is the sun and its light I fear the most, but little else can harm me now. Even a stake through my heart does not kill me, though it holds me from movement. But the sword, that cursed sword that Sergei brought, I must dispose of that awful tool. I fear and hate it as much as the sun. I have often hunted for Tatiana. I have even felt her within my grasp, but she escapes. She taunts me. She taunts me. What will it take to bend her love to me? I now reside far below Ravenloft. I live among the dead and sleep beneath the very stones of this hollow castle of despair. I shall shut the walls of the stairs that none may disturb me. The end.
Huh.
Ooh.
This appears to be just, I guess it's an autobiography. It's certainly got his flair of drama queenness. He calls himself the thunder and the darkness and hatred and stuff like that. He's got a real obsession for Tatiana or Irina or whoever his current desire might be. If it's the same person or not, I don't know. He's apparently very afraid of this sword. He's had it all this time. I don't know why he didn't destroy it. But it does kind of confirm what we thought. He does sleep beneath the castle. Said that he would wall off the stairs down to where he would rest. So I wonder if that's the portcullis we were raising and lowering, trying to get into that one sarcophagus under the castle.
Yes. Well, we could go that way, or we could go back to the fire and throw in that stone too.
One other thing, it said that he can no longer be killed by a stake through the heart, but it will hold him in place. If you want to, Reginald.
I've got 2 broken staffs in my pack. I wanna pull out both of them broken staffies, and I want to make sure that we all have a piece of that. So each one, I guess, is broken in half, so everybody gets a chunk.
I want to walk over to. I assume we're out of combat, right?
You are currently out of combat, yes.
Okay. I want to walk over to Davian. He's looking pretty worse for the wear, right?
He is looking horrible.
Okay, yeah. I want to use my channel divinity to heal myself and him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get 16 hit points back because I do 5 times my level, so I get 40, and he's going to get 24 hit points.
Ooh.
All right.
Boys.
He currently
I don't
can't
know.
get that much. So, sorry, real quick. Well, as you heal him, you would expect him to return to his vitality that you had saw him before, but the necrotic damage has reduced his maximum health, so he still looks extremely sickly and wounded, even as you heal him.
Okay. And can I, whatever hit points he can't get, can I pass those off to like Reginald?
Absolutely.
Cool. I don't know that number.
Nice. What we got?
So there's a total of 24 hit points. So whatever, I want to, as much as I can, top off Davian first.
Yeah. So sorry. It takes. I was just realizing you needed me to do math. Davian is able to accept 6 of your health points.
Okay, so 18 go to Reginald. Wow.
Hey, I likes it. Hey, much obliged, gentlemen. Take
Of
it.
course.
Make sure to take these little poking sticks. We'll see if we can't pin him down a bit.
Fellas, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a black iron mace on the floor over there, and there was that fellow we set on fire on the altar.
Oh, I noticed. And he's afraid of the sword, but I'll put the fear of God in him with this for sure.
As
I'm
Davian
gonna go over if I can pick that thing up.
notices you walking over there, he says, "Now is not the time for sightseeing and treasure hunting. If Strahd is able to rest, he will regain his strength, and we must do this all over again. We must find him. We must destroy him once and for all."
He's just downstairs. We'll go get him, but if there's any more edge we can get on him, then we should probably get it now.
Very well.
So can I mace? Because it was glowingly hot earlier. I didn't want to snag that up.
The mace is now cool.
Right.
Hey,
So I want
Keith,
to pick that mace up, and then as Jericho's talking about, we have an edge on somebody. I'm looking at a mace, which is very blunt. I look back to Jericho like, no.
All right.
No.
Yo, on Durman, what'd you say?
I also took a health potion and regained some hit points as well.
Thank you for the heads up.
Yeah.
Let me read to you what is over there. So there's also a statuette that remains unburned on the altar. It is the light from above that's coming from the window is falling directly on a silver statuette. If anybody's going for that, let me know. But also, you're going for it, Durman?
What?
Did somebody say they were going for it?
Yeah, I just imagine while Derman's guzzling down the health potion, he like kind of spies and is like, "Oh, that's interesting," and heads
Okay.
over that way.
Reginald, when you pick up the mace, you discover that this is just seemingly whoever used to be laid over that altar, and was burned up and destroyed. This must have just been his cool black mace.
Cool.
You're welcome to keep it, but it's just a mace. Derman, when you pick up the statuette, you are overcome with the emotional knowledge that this is the icon of Ravenloft. You are not evil, so you do not need to make a DC Constitution saving throw. Holy crap! You know what? I'm going to reveal to you. If you were evil, you would have taken 88 damage
Ooh.
just from touching it. So that's pretty cool, huh?
So you said I don't need to make the saving
No,
throw.
you do not. You're okay.
Lawful good. Just pointing that out one more
Yep.
time. Lawful.
The lawful good helps out today. Dude, the appendixes, these books need those.
Strahd.
Yeah, I very briefly looked through, like before you even mentioned doing it, I briefly looked through the Strahd book,
Mhm.
and it's pretty wonky in there. Like I avoided it because of how messed up it is.
Okay. Sorry, you're talking about this actual book. Yeah, it's hard to.
No, yeah, it's the manual, the module for it.
Yeah, they don't really organize these super well. The icon of Ravenloft. It's a 12-inch tall statuette made of the purest silver. It weighs 10 pounds, and it depicts a cleric kneeling in supplication. While within 30 feet of the icon, a creature is under the effect of a protection from evil and good spell against fiends and undead. Only a creature attuned to the icon can use its other properties. So when you pick it up, let's say you attune to it, you gain the ability Augury. You can use an action to cast the augury spell from the icon with no material components required. Once used, this property can't be used again until the next dawn. Bane of the Undead. You can use the icon as a holy symbol while using the turn undead or turn the unholy feature. If you do so, increase the save DC by 2. And Cure Wounds. While holding the icon, you can take an action to heal one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. The target regains 3d8 plus 3 hit points unless it is an undead, construct, or fiend. Once used, this property can't be used again until the next dawn.
Can you send that to me?
Yep.
That's a lot of stuff.
I got a heavy stick.
It's made of metal.
So I hunter's marked it old Strato. I get a
It's in the
advantage
engineering
on
Herman, sorry.
I get advantage on perception and survival checks to locate him.
Okay.
Can I use my perception to see if we're directly above, like the crack he went down into, if he's going to be going straight down into the catacombs we were in?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll that up.
Nat 20.
You know that you now stand above the catacombs, and your ability of using your memory allows you to remember that you once stood above a coffin, and you also once stood at a teleporting brazier that said it could take you to the tomb where the master sleeps or whatever. You feel very confident that you could quickly find your way back to where you need to be.
All right, cool. Then I want to go ahead and start heading that way, if there are no objections. Actually,
Okay.
I want to go ahead and start anyway.
All right. Where are you off to?
I think I know exactly where Strahd is going.
Lead the way.
I do that.
All right. You do that. You heading for the brazier to teleport in?
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys head back down to that room where the brazier was. And you remember that in that room was a brazier that allowed you to teleport many places throughout the land of Barovia. Davian goes with you. But on your way to the brazier, the fastest way you know is to go back down the hallway you came through, and then pass through the vestibule and down the stairs towards the brazier hallway. Once you get to the hallway, from the ceiling, you are descended upon by 5 swarms of bats and 6 stone gargoyles that fly down towards you, ready to attack. Before you can unsheath your weapons, Davian says, "You have to go. You cannot stay here. I'll hold them off. You must destroy the Devil Strahd." And he draws his sword with his frail old body and points it towards the enemies flying towards you in this hallway.
Swing, you shall not pass.
Exactly. As you run past them, he does say, "You shall not pass." And several of the bats do indeed pass him. But
Davian, if we can manage it, we'll come back for you.
I will hold them off as long as I can.
Hold strong. We won't be long.
And I'm gonna keep on sprinting towards the thing.
Okay, yeah, give y'all a little cinematic action for this final jaunt. Let me find exactly where we're headed.
While you're booting up the scene, just a little inside thing. When I was in school, Lord of the Rings came out, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I had a teacher who looked exactly like Saruman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and one of my classmates was really good at drawing. He put that on the chalkboard on like our finals day. Had a picture of the teacher. It said, "You shall not pass."
Nice.
Oh God, it's hilarious.
The Orcs of Saruman. Anyway, you guys get down to the brazier room and you read the inscription again, and you read the portion of the brazier inscription that says,
Yellowstone.
Yep, yellow to the master's tomb. You grab the yellow stone, you toss it in. The fire turns yellow.
Really quick, I want to cast Death Ward on myself.
Okay. What'd I do?
You touch a creature and grant it a measure of protection from death. The first time the target will drop to 0 hit points as a result of taking damage. The target instead drops to 1 hit point and the spell ends. If the spell is still in effect when the target is subjected to an effect that would kill it instantly without dealing damage, that effect is instead negated against the target if the spell ends. It lasts for 8 hours.
Cool.
That's zesty.
Can I
Zesty.
cast some spells before we go through as well?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. I would like to cast Ensnaring Strike on the Sun Sword,
Okay.
which is like a bind thing when it hits, and then Hail of Thorns on my crossbow. So the
Okay.
next one will the projectile will split into multiple thorns instead.
Cool.
I mean, while we're going around the circle, can I cast a couple also?
Do you have spells?
No.
Then no. Sadly, no. All right.
Hey, it's always worth asking.
It is always. You're absolutely right. It is always worth asking. So, if you remember the room that you were in, where you believe Strahd's casket to be, you find where all this book stuff is. Silly book. Silly book. Yes.
What you got going on in the chat over here?
Huh?
Shallow Crow.
Yeah, Shallow likes a good joke. I'm not sure what Oh yeah, he's making fun of Strahd talking.
My aching heart thrown for thirst for her inner loins.
Also, I know how to read cursive. It's just this cursive was drawn by a madman. Anyway, Yellow, you are teleported. What?
Remember those choose your own adventure books? This one was written by somebody a little bit OCD.
Yes. All right, you teleport and you appear in one of the alcoves at the south end of the room where Strahd's coffin lay. I will read to you the description of Strahd's coffin once more. The smell of freshly turned earth is here. You find yourself in Strahd's coffin room deep below Castle Ravenloft, even farther below the catacombs, as it took steps to get down here the first time you came. The smell of freshly turned earth permeates the very air. Settled into the dirt on the floor is a shining black coffin of finely waxed wood. The coffin's fittings are of brilliant brass, and the lid is closed. South of the coffin are 3 gloomy alcoves. The middle one is the one in which you have appeared. Standing before you is Strahd's coffin, laying before you.
Well, we all know what to do, I think.
I'm not excited for it.
Knock, knock, boys.
Can I cast one more spell before we get into combat?
Absolutely.
Cool. I would like to cast a level 2 spell called Cordon of Arrows.
Okay.
You plant 4 pieces of non-magical ammunition, arrows or crossbow bolts, in the ground within range and lay magic on them to protect an area. Until the spell ends, when a creature other than you comes within 30 feet of the ammunition for the first time on a turn or ends its turn there, 1 piece of ammunition flies up to strike it.
Cool.
The creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 piercing damage.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's ever used that one in one of our
I have
campaigns.
never heard of that spell in my life. I don't know everything by any stretch of the imagination, but I've never heard of that in my life.
I'm just going by the
No, I'm not.
app.
I'm saying that sounds cool.
No, it says PHB. It's player handbook.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. You stand before Strahd's coffin. Spells cast.
I want to see if I can roll to bust that thing open.
Okay. Are you all standing there? Or how are you doing this thing?
Well, first of all, it said within 30 feet, and it says if it's not me, so I didn't realize that. It's going to try and hit Dermot and Reginald too, I guess.
Oh.
So I'm going to put it at the exit to this room.
Okay.
So if he tries to run out, he'll get hit by it then.
Gotcha. Cool.
While all that's happening, Reginald's opening the thing. I want to pull, like, I have 14 alchemist fire in my bag,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to take those, and I want to take the silver balls that I got,
Okay.
and I'm going to put them in one bag, very gently, and I'm going to tie it shut. I'm going to put that somewhere safe nearby.
The suicide bomb. If we're
Hey, Dermot, now that we know where he is, well, assuming we know where he is, maybe that black powder stuff would be a good thing to maybe put a circle of it around his coffin. Maybe, like I said, maybe it acts like a barrier.
You did it.
Yes, I could do that. And I do it.
I love it.
You
I
found
didn't
a
know
way.
how that was going to be used.
You found a way.
What did Dermot say? I couldn't hear.
Sorry.
I do it. I said you may be right or something like that, and then I was like, I do it.
Yep.
You do the thing.
All right. At this point, are we all gathered around the coffin? How is this happening?
I'm
standing by the door.
Okay, you're standing by the door.
Yeah, with a crossbow.
All right, Reginald, you throw the lid off of the coffin. It comes off easily because there are contents inside. Inside is the devil Strahd, and before you have a chance to react or do anything, he reaches up and grabs your neck, and he casts blight on you as he grabs you.
Dang it.
His body,
Oh,
hold on, before, as this is happening, roll perception. I'll at least let you look at him while he does it.
I want to look at it. Let's see. Perception. That's a 15.
Okay, as you look at him, he maintains all the wounds that you have given him earlier. Blood leaks from his eyes. He stares at you through bloodshot eyes. This is obviously the last attempt of a dying creature to enact his will upon the world, but he still is able to get this spell off, and you need to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Let's see what I got for you. That is a 28, mi amigo.
Oh, dang, nice. Oh yeah, you have big Constitution. So you only take half of this damage, and he uses everything he's got as far as damage on you. So we're gonna have to roll up 9 dice.
He is well constituted.
7, 8, 10, 15, 20, 25. Dang, okay, 30. 38. 40. You take 20 damage of necrotic damage as he grabs your neck and tries to squeeze all the life out of you that he can.
Ouch. Oi. All right. Can I... Are we in combat now? What are we doing?
No, you roll whatever you'd like to do.
Okay, I want to roll to get my stabby stake to see if I can stab him in his body.
Let's try to stab him.
All right. What do I roll for that?
Just roll an attack roll with advantage.
Attack with advantage? Well, the first one was 25.
You jam a stake directly into his heart. And guess what we get to read now, boys?
More curse.
We get to read a little section of this campaign called
Death of Strahd.
The Epilogue.
Hey.
So, he reaches out of his coffin, prepared for someone to try to attack him. He reaches out and grabs you and makes his best attempt to squeeze the life out of Reginald, but it's just not enough. Strahd has underestimated this party of adventurers. He has truly underestimated them. Strahd cannot hide his surprise as death takes him into the black abyss. Surprise turns to rage, and the pillar stone of Ravenloft trembles with fury, shaking dust from the ceiling of the vampire's tomb. The shudders abate as Strahd's burning hatred melts away, replaced at last with relief. The dark orbs of his eyes wither and sink into his skull as his corpse deteriorates before you. In a matter of moments, only bones, dust, and noble garb remain. Strahd von Zarovich, the Dark Lord of Barovia, is dead and gone.
Wow.
Yay.
And we had all these magical weapons, and it was a broken stick that did it.
It was your spear. It was a magical weapon at one point.
It was.
Yeah.
It was gifted to me by a god under a rock.
Mark says, GG, boys.
again.
So in my excitement, I want to run up the stairs. No, I probably don't want to do that.
But would you guys allow me to guide you a little bit so we can get as much of this epilogue in as possible?
Yeah.
Squeeze that juice.
I'd like to make a point of going back for Davian if possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we're collecting a body or what.
I'm going to walk you that way. You guys
Okay, cool.
walk back through the castle. Nothing left to harm you. There are no evil creatures left to cause you despair. There's just a lightness that it feels more akin to Peach's castle than it does to Strahd's castle at this point. There, of course, are dust and corpses everywhere, but the feeling of heavy hatred and the mist is abating, and the heaviness that you've experienced is now off of your chest. There is a lightness. You feel as though the dawn of this day is a true dawn for Barovia. As you head back up the stairs, your mind is drawn to Davian to see if he was able to hold out long enough for you to come back. But whenever you cross into the vestibule, Davian's body, riddled with holes of bat bites and slices from gargoyle weapons, Davian is dead in the foyer, in the vestibule.
Now, with the gargoyles, did they like disappear, or is there just like frozen gargoyle statues now?
They're frozen gargoyle statues now. And the what you see before you is Davian with his sword still outstretched as a gargoyle, as a spear jamming into his chest, effectively nailing him to the ground for his last dying attempt.
Did we level up?
I wanna.
You are now level 10.
I wanna walk up to Davian and I wanna collect up his body.
Okay. You're able to remove the spear from his heart and you collect his body.
Yeah.
Keith, I believe that was a serious inquiry.
You do. You're level 10.
I bring him back to life.
Hey! Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, okay, it's not just as immediate as that. So, it takes an hour,
Okay.
but you return a dead creature you touch to life, provided that it has been dead no longer than 10 days. If the creature's soul is both willing and at liberty to rejoin the body, the creature returns to life with 1 hit point. The spell neutralizes poison, cures non-magical disease. Yeah. Closes all mortal wounds, but it doesn't restore missing body parts. Coming back from the dead is an ordeal. The target takes a -4 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. So as Reginald picks him up, I guess like feeling this new surge of like power and divine presence, being a cleric, it's just like kind of, I imagine Derman just kind of acts on his own, or not acts on his own, but acts like just really without thinking, kind of on instinct. And he's like, Reginald, hold him still as we travel. I want to try something. And then he just kind of like follows behind Reginald and just keeps like kind of occasionally like tells Reginald to do something, but then is mostly just focused on like Davian. And then after an hour, life comes back into his body.
Okay. Whenever he picks up the body and you begin to tell him that, you guys all feel drawn to Castle Ravenloft's overlook on the east. You remember it from the journal that you read, the Tome of Strahd. All of you feel drawn that way. So, do you accept the drawing and head that way?
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
I feel like we should throw his body off the overlook. Is anybody in on that?
you guys get out there to the overlook. The overlook is a beautiful thing. The sun is rising. Reginald lays the body of Davy and Martikov on the ground to let Derman continue his work. And Reginald and Jericho, you guys walk over to the edge of the railing and look out. And you see the following. Thick clouds fill the sky. Through the chilly morning mist, the land of Barovia is visible far below. There is peacefulness here. Rest has come to the valley for the first time anyone can remember. A light flashes behind you. Wheeling around, you see a stately man. This is all of you are seeing this. I just, since Derman was resurrecting Davian, I figured he'd sit a little farther away. But you're all seeing this, obviously. A light flashes behind you. Wheeling around, you see a stately man, a being of flesh and blood, in shining armor and a flapping cape. His countenance shows great strength of will, yet the forcefulness of his presence is tempered by his calm, sad eyes. His features are those of Strahd, yet subtly different. His voice is calm and peaceful. My name is Sergei Bonzarovich. Hold the phone. I'm reading the wrong thing. Hold the phone.
The phone we are holding.
It was actually Batman.
Right?
Stern man
Sunshine.
with willpower and a cape. Batman.
Standing beside him, this man, as he says, my name is Sergei Bonzarovich. And he turns to look to his side, and as he turns to look to his side, Irina Kolyana appears next to him. They hold hands. Irina looks at you all and she says, I am Irina Kolyana, but in my past, I was Sergei's beloved Tatiana. Through these many centuries, we have played out the tragedy of our lives. Now, with our deepest gratitude to you, that tragedy is over. It is time for joy to begin again. Shimmering light surrounds Irina and Sergei. Hand in hand, they walk east toward the edge of the overlook. Their feet do not touch the ground as they tread a path beyond this mortal world. Their invisible road takes them beyond the eastern precipice, their glow illuminating and thinning the clouds above Barovia. The clouds suddenly break open, letting shafts of glorious sunlight flood through. In the valley below, the strange fog dissolves. Barovia is free once more.
I want to kind of start slapping like Derman on the shoulder and like point towards the fog clearing away.
Mm-hmm.
Not really saying anything, just like it's fine. It's happening.
Does anyone else have a supernaturally wholesome feeling about this?
I certainly feel better.
I'm a bit preoccupied, but yes, I do feel lighter.
Yeah. Sorry, Dermot. You keep doing your thing. Keith, did you have any more, or are we RPing?
Yeah, y'all are welcome to RP. Anything else you'd like to do? I mean,
Okay.
the world is obviously free of this evil for now. So you guys do whatever it is you want to do to end out this campaign.
I want to ask Dermot. Dermot, what are you doing with Davian? He's passed. You got to let him go.
Well, I believe I can bring him back. I'm not entirely certain how, but it seems that, through our experiences and travels, I've gained knowledge. To be honest, my hands are kind of acting on their own.
Well, bring him back. Yeah, yes, if you can bring him back, bring him back.
Why don't you carry him while he brings him back, and we can go ahead and load back up in the battle wagon. And
Right.
I'm ready to get out of here before Ismark finds us, because I don't think we were supposed to let the princess die. But I can't imagine he can be too unhappy with his ending. It feels right to me.
Derman,
Right.
All the same.
you remember a task you promised to do.
Oh no, I remember.
Okay.
It's close to Wizards of Wine, so we were going to take Davian back anyway, I think.
Okay.
Whatever
True.
happened to that chicken we had in the wagon? He was supposed to come get us, wasn't he?
It maybe he got hit up. I don't know.
It's true. There was army of bats and what. He's probably out there holding his own.
As you
We need to
guys
go check.
as you guys have this discussion and you approach the battle wagon, when you open the door of the battle wagon, standing on the steps leading down is a chicken with angry eyes holding a butter knife in one foot. He obviously was having trouble getting the latch of the door undone, but he was ready to come help.
Yeah, see there? We had it. He was coming. If we couldn't have made it, he was coming.
Yeah, it was probably his confidence in us that held him back.
Right. It's all he was.
All right,
Chicken don't have a name, but
back in the cage, chicken.
right. I grabbed the chicken and just shove it back in the cage unceremoniously. Hey, quiet. Give me that butter nut. Where'd you get butter nut? Don't even answer it. Why did you answer it?
All right, Reginald, pilot this cart. We need to get on the road. I'm ready to get out of here, but we made too many promises along the way.
Right.
We have quite a lot to do, but I sadly won't be able to do this again for quite some time. I think I would need a rest.
You can always do your little stasis-y thing on the kid, I guess.
Well,
Right.
He's got 9 days left, I believe.
That's plenty of time for a cat nap.
All right.
Where to, Chris?
I don't. Keith,
Yeah.
it's kind of up to you where we in this.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Do you want us?
Yeah, so I'm about to speak. You guys go along. You make your way back through Valaki. You explain the victory of what you have done over Strahd. The town already knows it. All the way there are people frolicking and dancing and having the weight of this world just lifted off of them. Erwin Mardikov is there, ready to embrace you as you arrive back in the town of Valaki. And Erwin Mardikov and his estranged father Davian, the two of them not having had a relationship for many years, embrace, knowing that Davian was part of the help to kill the devil Strahd. The two of them are reconciled to one another. Davian elects to stay with Erwin for a little while, so you guys have a tearful goodbye and leave them where they are. You head to Kresk. You are able to resurrect the son of the Baron of Kresk. He is very grateful. Everyone there is extremely grateful. But you all wishing to leave, pack up your things, and head back east. Finally, you ride through Barovia, where you speak with Ismark. Ismark is sad to hear of the passing of his sister, but he is joyous to know that the passing of his sister into the next life is part of what has allowed light to return to Barovia. He is extremely grateful to you, and also he ends up becoming the new burgomaster of the village of Barovia. He becomes the burgomaster. What?
Oh no, I was just saying. I was a celebratory. Hey.
Yeah. He is grateful to you for all you've accomplished, and he asks you to stay in Barovia to help him rid the land of any other threats. And he offers his village as a safe haven. Do you accept?
I got things to do back in my town. But there's one thing I'd like to ask you to take care of in our stead. The former burgomaster of Berez, his ghost still haunts an old church out there, and he's searching for a bit of peace. If you could go and speak to him and tell him of what's going on here, I think it would help him rest a bit.
I will do it. For all you have done. I will do this and whatever more I believe I can to continue your legacy here in the Valley of Barovia.
I really appreciate that. But we can't stick around here. We've got more adventures to get on to, right, Reginald?
Right. There's every adventure around the corner. I'm sure we'll be back in time, master of burgers. I want to lean in towards Dermot when I say that. Hey, Dermot, not this one, okay? Not this one.
Oh no, yes, I know, I am aware. But you know, Mully, speaking of other adventures, it seems like so long ago now how you and I started this little back and forth. It was at the back of my mind through this whole journey, and now it seems so unimportant, so trivial.
Our whole past is it's kind of a blur after this place.
Yes.
There was a lot of bad blood between us, and come to think of it, I can't even really remember what it was that caused it.
No, there's a lot of bird blood between us, wouldn't you say?
Shooting.
The chicken from the cart says, "Baka!"
The end. Red curtain.
The end. Yes, as you say that, the final sound is the bakak as the circle closes in on your wagon as it bebops down the road that you took to get into Barovia. And thus ends your time in the Valley of Barovia. You have defeated the Devil Strahd and brought balance to the force in the valley. The end.
Huzzah.
Now, would you like me to end the story the way the book would like me to end the story, or would you like to leave it there?
Direct that towards chat. Chat, what do y'all want?
Chat, would you like to end the story there, or would you like to get a little more information? Shall I play it by the book?
Roll perception on that chat room.
Marker, somebody might be in there to give us a response.
We got 9 viewers.
Response.
Improv. Talk about the chicken joint down the street.
Those we all go on to open the very first church's chicken.
Joe M. Steve 4, nice work all. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. You had a great time. I'd like to end it there. There's no way you guys would get any of this information anyway. Oh no, never mind. Joe M. Steve says the book. You got me curious now. Okay. This is an ending that you will choose. You can choose whether you believe it or not. We can choose what our canon ending is, and we can choose what the book says, okay? So it'll be up to the Dungeon Boys what the ending will be.
Okay.
Aftermath. The bats, wolves, and dire wolves of Barovia lose their supernatural link to Strahd upon his destruction and become ordinary beasts, destined to be hunted down or driven to the farthest reaches of the Svalich woods. Even after Strahd's death, Castle Ravenloft remains a haunted place shunned by all Barovians. Its dark immensity and threatening countenance are enough to deter locals from plundering or reoccupying it. Hey, Saucy the Weeb. We already read about Ismark. He becomes the leader of Barovia. The Vistani exodus, fearing that the Barovians might kill them for being spies and collaborators, which the Vistani were spies and collaborators with the Devil Strahd. We didn't deal a whole lot with them, but they were on Strahd's team. The Vistani pack up their wagons and leave the valley with great haste. The Barovians are happy to see them go. Vampire hunters. Rudolf von Richten, you never met her, but he had a partner, and her name was Esmeralda de Avenir. Rudolf von Richten leaves Barovia because he survived. He leaves Barovia to live out his remaining days in solitude. His protege, Esmeralda de Avenir, isn't convinced that Strahd is truly dead. She also knows that there are other evils in Barovia to be conquered, so she elects to remain in the valley. Upon his death, Strahd's vampire spawn are freed from his control, and each seeks a new destiny. There apparently was a vampire spawn named Escher. In particular, he leaves the realm in search of new experiences in a way to become a vampire lord himself. So you have set free a vampire lord that could become a lord somewhere else. And if Petrina Velikovna lives, which we never met her, but she begins to plunder arcane knowledge from Castle Ravenloft and the Amber Temple and prepares to become Barovia's new master. And this is the part you're not going to like. Esmeralda's suspicions prove justified. Strahd's destruction is temporary, for his curse can't so easily be ended. The ancient dark powers with which Strahd forged his pact caused the vampire to reform after a period of months, long enough for the Barovians to discover what it feels like to live a life of hope. When Strahd is reborn, the mists surround the land of Barovia once more, and the Barovians' hope turns to horrible despair. Strahd remembers the defeat dealt to him and begins plotting his revenge. After the mists reappear, Madame Ava and her Vistani come back to the valley. The beasts of the land once more fall under Strahd's spell, and the burgomasters fortify their settlements, hoping against all hope that someone can save them from Strahd again.
Yeah, I kind of wish you hadn't read that.
Yep.
That sucks.
I figured you wouldn't.
In 3 years' time, we all come back as level 19.
Yeah, you all come back as level 20s and just like...
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark says Curse of Strahd 2. This time, it's personal.
What was the thing from Major Payne? He just keeps slapping him. Didn't I tell you? Don't ever make me come back here. Oh God, we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to do a Strahd part dose.
Oh gosh, I
Before we
don't.
visit.
I don't think I have another 8 months for that, or however many. It's been like what, a year, 10 months.
We'll just roll up to the castle maybe for like a Halloween playthrough or something.
We started at the beginning of the proper lockdown stuff, so it was
Like
March, April
Yeah.
of last
Oh
year.
my
So yeah, about a
gosh.
year.
Okay, so do you want to do a quick like what are your thoughts? What questions do you have? And it was a good old
I still
fashioned.
have
It's
one
not
cream
over yet
pastry.
ending.
It's not fresh.
It is not. It was not fresh when you got it.
It was bad for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to use my chunky potion. That's been sitting in my inventory for a
Yeah.
while.
I'm glad that it was Reginald who got to drive the stake into Strahd's heart, because of originally it was a random occurrence that it was Reginald who turned and saw himself on the rope. And it was also
Yeah.
turned out to be fate that he walked past the tomb that would reflect whoever was looking at it. And so it was just kind of funny how in the end it was Reginald, the foolish one, who was able to deal
Me
the
and
killing
Dylan
blow.
were side characters.
So
I did
go ahead.
I did think about having like Jericho have like a kind of a, he's been trying to play it cool this whole time, but have like a little freak out moment after Strahd dies and just like jump into the casket with the sun sword and just like completely demolish the bones.
Oh yeah.
But then we had a guy dying upstairs, so I figured that would be better story.
True.
I was so hoping for weeks. I was hoping that the bag of alchemist fire would be like the get out of jail free card,
Yeah.
and
It
it
helped.
turned out to be like mostly he just got hit by the bag.
He's a legendary dude. He
That
fought.
is true.
He fought hard, but it was 3-on-1. You attacked him in the daytime and took away some of his power. And it seems like anytime you give me a caster as a DM, it's not much for some reason. I just rather like swing ogre stuff at you than cast.
Do we want to talk one shots? Possible one shots?
Let's go ahead.
Before we get off track,
Let's
I just
end the
wanna
podcast first. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, let's there will be more announcements in the future. I think suffice it to say, well, Josh, were you about to announce the thing that I'm about to announce?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so just to let you, we're about to go off into free thought mode, so the podcast is a good place to end here. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We really appreciate it. The Curse of Strahd campaign, I believe, has brought more people than we normally have listening to this show to it. If you would like to leave us a review on whatever podcast app you are listening on or watching or whatever, we would love that. We would love to have our show listened to by more people. The 4 of us, just love playing games. We love D&D. We love making stories together. We're still learning. I would consider us still novices in this game, even though we've been playing for like 3 years now. But we just like having fun together and hopefully have creating a good time for you. So any reviews or sharing with your friends or anything would be super great. If you'd like to join our Discord, there I believe is a link in the podcast description to join that. If you'd like to find any of our other links, you can go to Twitter at Tank Media Games. I have a link tree on there, or you can go to tankmediagames.com and find pertinent links to everything there as well. But we truly appreciate you. We'd love to receive any emails or any way you'd like to communicate with us, please do. And the email is tankmediagames@gmail.com. So we would love to hear from you if we could. So this is good night from Barovia and good night from the Dungeon Boys. I have been your DM, Keith. And the Dungeon Boys are still here, but you guys want to say goodbye?
I have been Jericho Muldrinker, the shifter, ranger, rogue, badass.
I am Reginald, your orc fighter and destroyer temporarily of Strahd.
I am was Aeroderman, the cat cleric.
That's right. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you. Please remember that we love you very much. Bye-bye.
Toodles.
Bye-bye.
All right, the podcast is over. The stream is not yet done. M. Rusa says post credits. The Dungeon Boys are sitting in the local Kentucky Fried Tavern, enjoying several buckets of fried chicken.
This is like that shawarma scene at the end of Avengers. Isn't
Yep, it is. All right, what were we gonna? We had you guys suggested a discussion.
Well, I wanted to toss this out there that now we know at some point down the way, Strahd comes back to impose his will upon the land.
Yep.
And our thing, or at least Reginald's thing, has been about, the adventure and doing right. We got 2 lawful good Raven people boys. I'm proposing that at some point down the line, we as actual players, using our same characters, go back and put Strahd back in a box.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't have to go through the whole thing. We know where the castle's at,
Yeah.
but we use our same characters at a higher level, like a year from now.
And really,
it would be cool to actually explore the castle a little bit more, because I think that's how people get it into like a 12-hour, 1-day, 1-shot kind of deal.
yeah.
Start with like level 8 characters just exploring the castle.
Yep. I think you're probably right.
And we didn't run into as many hunchback lobster hobbits as I thought we would.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm for this idea very much.
To let you know, all the crab monster hobbit people live in the abbey on the western.
That sunken watery area.
No, they live in Kresk, in that abbey above Kresk.
Oh, the one that we were going to go to, but we didn't have time to go to. But
Yeah.
that one dude, he was in the castle. He made me break my stick.
That
I'm
guy.
glad he made me
yeah.
break my stick. What I stab Strahd with.
Yep. Also, there was talk of possibly doing maybe a quick 1-night celebratory 1-shot campaign in which I am not the DM, to give me just a brief break before I jump back into DMing for the world of Medine, which is, of course, we should announce that to anybody in the stream. Thank you guys for being here. But this has been an extremely long detour from our main campaign, which occurs in a world of my own design. We have learned a lot from this campaign, though, which will make season 2 of the main campaign, I think, a lot better. So, in the near future, we will be returning to the Medine campaign. I hope we'll try to get you up to date. We'll try to re-up to date ourselves, but we'll try to get everything together so that you are prepared to listen to that if that is something you would like to do. We're very grateful, though, to have all of you, whoever you are, hanging out with us. And hopefully we'll be able to have some better technical setup for season 2. But between here and there, I think there's talk of us doing a 1-night or 2-night or whatever 1-shot deal where I get to play a character and not be the DM for a minute.
Sure, I'll be happy to pick up that if y'all want to roll up some fresh characters for maybe like a 1-night kind of thing. We can do that. If y'all like it, we can always continue from there. The campaign episode quest, whatever you want to call it, that I have in mind is kind of modular, so we can make it a 1-night, or we can continue it, or pick it up, put it down as we need to. So it's all good.
Cool. I, for one, am looking forward to such a thing. Twitch chat. While we've got you here, we finished a little bit early. I know we're probably about to go to bed and everything, but do you guys have any quick questions or anything that you would like for us to discuss before it's all said and done? We've never been able to do that. We very rarely have 7 to 10 whole people hanging out. So if you have anything, any burning desires, now's the time. But I had a great time, guys. Thank you for being good characters and
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
fun players.
We got whole people hanging out. I'm wondering how many half people we got hanging out.
At least 1 or 2. Gotta be.
Well, we got more viewers than that because me and Josh are on the stream. So,
Tis true. Whoop, 11 now. Look at that.
Are you?
yeah, I'm watching the stream. So there's 2 of us in one of those.
What's your username?
actually- I don't know if I'm signed in or not.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't even know where I'd see it.
I don't know. Well, it doesn't look like we have any questions coming in, so I think we're good to go, boys.
Question.
Nope, it's Zach and Zam.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. I feel I have a person. Mark, you have been a faithful listener of the show, and I am extremely grateful to you. And anybody else who listens to it, you know, whether you just pop into a stream to see what's going on, or whether you actually, you know, religiously listen to this show, we're grateful. I certainly am. We all work hard on it, but you know, I work really hard on all this channel stuff. So anytime you guys give us the time of day, it really means a lot. But we're gonna leave you here. We're gonna leave you for now. We will hopefully, I guess, we'll let you know of any schedule changes, but should be back next week more than likely, with more D&D. We'll decide to do a, you know, recap of the whole campaign as another little break thing before we get back into season 2. Who knows, but we'll let you know. But in the meantime, please remember that myself and the Dungeon Boys love you all very much. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.